Oxford Reading Tree, The Flying Machine. Nadim was at the airport with his mom and dad. They had been to America for a holiday. Now it is time to fly home. Nadim's dad was nervous. "I don't like flying," he said. "I hate taking off." "I don't hate it," said Nadim. "I love it." On the flight, there was a surprise for Nadim. The steward asked him if he wanted to see the controls. Nadim was excited. He had always wanted to see the flight deck on an airplane. "Oh, brilliant," he said. "Yes, please." The steward took Nadim and his dad through the airplane. "These planes are huge," said Nadim. "They hold about 400 people," said the steward. "That's a lot of people in one plane," said Nadim. Nadim and his dad went onto the flight deck. They met the captain. "We're flying on the autopilot," said the captain. "The plane is flying by itself." Nadim looked at the controls. "I'd like to be a pilot," he said. "It takes a long time to learn," said the captain. "But what's to stop you?" "Don't let him take over the controls just yet," joked Nadim's dad. "I'm a nervous passenger." "Oh, Dad," said Nadim. After Nadim got home, he went to play at Biff and Chip's house. And Nina was already there. Nadim told everyone about his holiday. "I went onto the flight deck of an airplane," he said. "I'd love to be a pilot," said Nina. Mom called Biff and Chip. They had to go downstairs to help wash up. "We won't be long," said Chip. Nina picked up the magic key. Suddenly, it began to glow. It took Nina and Nadim on an adventure. The magic took Nadim and Nina back in time. It took them to a place in America. "Why has the magic key brought us here?" asked Nina. They heard the sound of an engine. The sound was coming out of a big cloud of dust. A man was driving towards them in a strange-looking car. "What on earth is it?" asked Nadim. "It looks like a really old car." "You can't stand there," called the man. "You'll be in the way of the flying machine." A strange-looking airplane was standing by a barn. Nadim and Nina had never seen anything like it. Another man was working on an airplane. The first man got out of the car and went over to him. Nina gasped. The two men look alike. "They must be twins," she said to Nadim. "Hello," said the second man. "I'm Harry, and this is my twin brother, Halad." "Who are you?" "I'm Nadim. This is Nina," said Nadim. "You're not spying on us, are you?" asked Halad. "Why would you do that?" asked Nina. "We're just about to try out the flying machine," said Harry. "But it's a secret." "No one has ever made flying machines before," said Halad. "You must be the first people to do it." "It's amazing," said Nadim. "We've not seen an airplane like this before." The twins laughed. "A airplane," said Halad. "That's a good name for it. A airplane." "But it will never fly," said Nina. "Of course it will," said Harry. Halad set into the flying machine. "I'm ready," he shouted. Harry started the engine. The propeller began to turn. It spun faster and faster, but the flying machine didn't move. "I told you so," said Nina. "It's the propeller," said Nina. "It will never work. It's too flat." She picked up 2 pieces of wood. "It needs to be like this," she said. It acts like a screw to pull the plane through the air. Well, we could try it, said Harry. The twins changed the shape of the propeller. But it still won't fly, said Dan. You only have a flat wing. You have no way to make it lift up. How will it take off? Ha, said Howlett. We made a ramp. And the faster we go, the higher it will fly. Howlett get into the airplane. Harry started the engine. We'll see if you're right, he yelled. The propeller spun round and the airplane began to move faster and faster. It's working, shouted Harry. It still won't fly, said Dan. The plane zoomed up the ramp at full speed. It rose in the air like a heavy bird. Yee-haw, called Harry. It's flying! The plane flew straight up. It went backwards in a loop, then dived towards the ground. Help! Yelled Howlett. The plane hit the ground with a heavy bump. Howlett was thrown out. It was still going at full speed. It rolled towards Nadine and Nina. Stop it! Yelled Howlett. Look out! Shouted Harry. No one could stop the plane. It headed towards a big water tank. It's going to crash, gasped Nadine. The plane went under the water tank. The wings snapped off, but the plane went on. It hasn't stopped, said Harry. The plane didn't slow down. It rolled on towards a farm. Harold and Harry jumped into the car and chased after it. One thing's for sure, said Dame to Nina. Your propeller works well. Harry and Holla's mother and father lived on the farm. The mother had just done the washing and was hanging it out to dry. The father was watering up his prized melons and pumpkins. Harry and Holla followed. Nadine and Nina chased after them. A cake, said Holla. Why won't it stop? Oh my, said Harry. It's heading for the farm. Oh dear, said Nina. I don't like the look of this. A plane rolled on. It ran through the washing. It squashed the melons and pumpkins. It hasn't stopped, shouted Holla. What are we going to do? Let's hurry once out of gas soon, said Harry. The plane headed towards the town. A woman was painting her house. She heard the shut of an engine. Whatever is that? She wondered. It sounds like a roaring bull. The plane ran into the ladder and knocked it down. The woman fell to the ground. She still had the paintbrush in her hand. The plane went on. What the heck was that? Gasped the woman. At last, the plane stopped in the middle of the town. It had crashed into a statue. People ran to see what the noise was about. Harry and Harold stopped the car. They both jumped out. This doesn't look good, said Harold. Nadine and Nina ran to see where the plane had stopped. Nadine spoke to Harold and Harry. You see, he said, the propeller works. Now you need to make flaps and rudder. Suddenly there was a noise. It sounded like an engine. It came from up in the sky. Everyone looked up. An aeroplane was flying over the town. It's a flying machine, someone shouted. Another aeroplane, joked Nina. The people waved and cheered. The pilot of the plane waved back at them. I know who that is, called the man. It's Wilbur Wright. He and his brother are the first men to fly. We'll be darned, said Harry. So we weren't the first men to fly after all, said Harry. The Wright brothers have beaten us to it. Never mind, said Harold. I have an idea for a boat that goes on the water. The magic key began to glow. It was time for Madame and Nina to go home. "Sorry we were such a long time," said Biff. "There was a lot of washing up to do." "Never mind," laughed Nina. "The time just flew by." "And it wasn't just the time that flew," joked Madame.